Have you ever wondered why your range game doesn't translate to the course? It's all about your pre-shot routine. In this video, we're going to look at what the top golf psychologists say that you need to do in your pre-shot routine to play better golf. So most amateur golfers significantly undervalue the importance of a pre-shot routine. Now, the pre-shot routine is a skill in itself, and it's about consistency to help you under pressure when you need it the most. So you don't have to overthink and become that paralysis by analysis, or borderline underthink and make silly mistakes. So we're going to go through each steps that I want you to start developing your own pre-shot routine using this framework, and then each time you go out on a golf course, you're going to be thinking about your pre-shot routine as the most important aspect of each shot. Not the golf swing, not the golf score, just the pre-shot routine. So stage one of your pre-shot routine is the assessment and planning stage. It's the thinking part of your pre-shot routine. Now you have to do this to the best of your ability so that then when you go into the next stage, all those additional thoughts are forgotten and you've got a really clear strategy and plan. So this is going to come down to the simple things. You're going to obviously assess the yardage, the lie, the wind, the overall conditions like the temperature, where the trouble is, what your target is, the club selection. So the more you assess and accurately or to the best of your ability, the more you're going to narrow down what you're trying to do. If you have a vague assessment that's any uncertainty there whatsoever, the chances are when you get into the next stage and over the ball, there's going to be doubt. And whenever there's doubt, chances are you're likely to hit a bad shot. So I'm going to take this first hole that I'm playing on the sim. Now it's only 230 yards long. So for me, for a par 4 especially, I can reach this green. But if I go left, there's out of bounds, and if I push it a long way right, there's out of bounds. Now there's out of bounds that's going to come into play for a really wild shot. But from the assessment that I've done, there's enough room there that means I'd have to hit probably one of the worst shots I could hit to bring out of bounds into play. So the risk reward is there. Now I've not got any conditions set up, so there's no wind, etc. This is just a stock shot. But that's the planning phase where, okay, I'm going to hit the club that I know I can reach the green, but at the same time, is there any danger there that I'm going to bring into play? So keep it simple, but keep it clear. So the second phase is probably the phase that I see golfers spend too long in because they've rushed the first part and they rushed the last part. But this part is almost them saying, if I do this properly, I'm going to hit a good shot. And this is very much the feeling phase. This is the physical preparation. This is the swing rehearsals, the setting up to the ball, the walking into the ball. Now, we've got to remember pre-shot routines, and if you look at the pros on TV, all of them will have slightly different pre-shot routines. It doesn't matter what your pre-shot routine. Some take a long time, some are excessively quick, some might have one swing, some might have no swings, etc. But whatever you choose to do has to be consistently applied and comfortable. Now, most golfers, they might have a couple of practice swings next to the ball. And those practice swings are there to be deemed as practice swings. If most golfers, amateur golfers who have a swing thought, they'll be thinking about where they want to move based on a lesson or based on what they think they need to do to hit a good shot. And they're almost trying to get that perfect movement in their swing rehearsal. Often that's next to the ball. Now, too often, players will then do the practice swing, hit the ground or miss the ground and go, oh no, that's not what I want to do. So then it's like, right, I need to think even more. Now, if you watch the pros, there's normally one exaggerated rehearsal of a feeling. Justin Rose is someone I've used a lot who really is doing this move, which is really exaggerated. We see Jordan Spieth almost doing this excessive motion because it's a feeling, right? We're not trying to get into perfect positions. But whatever we're doing, we've got to do it with being dynamic. We've got to be athletic. We've got to do it with clarity. We don't want to be slow. We don't want to be rigid. Now, if you look at some of my other videos around the biomechanics, everything we're talking about is being fluid, is about reactivity, being dynamic, etc. So we've got to take that rehearsal and put it into the pre-shot routine. So my suggestion would always be start behind the ball. I'm going to put the glove on naturally as we would want to do, but we're starting behind the ball, and this is where we can then separate that area looking at the target. And we're going to just do a couple of practice swings, or I'm going to do a couple of practice swings that is a little bit free flowing. I'm not going to focus on getting into position, but I'm going to focus on keeping moving. Now my swing thought at the moment is moving into my left side early. So all I'm going to do is keep moving and get almost that left foot moving consistently. Now I'm obviously going to walk into the ball, and this is obviously where we want to get our really fixated on our target, whatever that target may be, and really fixated on our setup. But again, it's still going to be dynamic and reactive. We don't want to be very much feet, grip, shoulders, then we're ready. We just want to be able to walk in, get that club set, align to where we want, trust that our posture and our alignment is where we want it. And now we've finished that phase. So we've prepared, we've free flowing state. Now we're over the ball, ready to hit. So now that final phase is the mental focus and a trigger. Now a trigger is either a word or an action to start the movement. So it's almost that way of telling your brain, let's go, let's commit. And the key here is it's all about mental and emotional control. Now most golfers, when they're over the ball, they're probably thinking about what not to do. Let's not hit it there, let's not mishit it, etc. And we have to overpower those negative thoughts, those automatic negative thoughts, which are called ants, all very, very common, by the way. Even the best players in the world experience. They're normal, but we've got to quieten them down while we're over the ball. And we only can do that through a good trigger word. So I remember playing some of my best golf, and at the time, Brooks Koepka was winning everything. And my word over the ball was Koepka. And that meant to me, if we look at Koepka in his peak, when he was over the ball, it was like, I'm set, I'm ready, and it's all out commitment. There's no holding back, it's all out commitment. And that just told me to basically hit the ball with no fear. And that worked really, really well, because then I'm not giving any chance for additional thoughts to come in. You've done your analysis in phase one, you've done your physical preparation in phase two, so now phase three, we've got to just be really zoned in on hitting the shot, target, commitment, staying disciplined. So if I'm over that ball, I'm thinking, right, target, there's my visual. I've done my analysis, so I've got to trust it now, haven't I? So I'm going to just use the Koepka principle. It's like, right, I'm over, I'm looking, I'm zoning in. I'm going to go down. Koepka means free flow and hit. Now, there was no chance of me thinking about technique or a bad shot there because of that pre-shot routine. Doesn't mean I'm going to hit a good shot, but it gives me more chance to hit better shots when I need to, both longevity, long term, but also under pressure when I'm on for a good round, when I'm not feeling comfortable, when maybe a first tee and everyone's watching. And that pre-shot routine is, you can see when we break it down, it might seem long, but now we need to put it into a full routine and play golf with it, play golf shots. So let's play a few holes and let's see if we can commit to that. Okay, so let's put this into practice. So stage one, I'm here at Gampton Golf Course, hole one. You can see just from the course map, it's asking me hit 282. I'm going to try and hit an iron. It's into a 15-mile-an-hour wind. I want to take out the first series of bunkers. The wind's obviously going to stall it if I mishit it, but I should hit enough club that's going to cover it. And what it'll do, it'll take out the big left-right miss a little bit. That's just me keeping it simple and committed. So I've chosen my club, I've chosen my target. So this is now where we're going to go straight into that phase two. Now the analysis phase of phase one is something I think you'll do already quite well. It can always be refined, but at the same time, it's phase two and three that are probably where the main errors are. So I'm going to now get away from my analytics. That means stop thinking about the shot, or stop thinking about what might go wrong, or have I chosen the right thing? And then let's get straight into that physical phase. So for me, as I said, free flowing, almost feel like the left foot is working. I'm going to stick to one. I'm going to now walk in, clear to my target, clear on my setup. Right, I'm comfortable. Now I'm in phase three. That's zoning on that target. That's keeping loose, keeping relaxed. Trigger word, Brooks, and then we go. Now I've leaped that and gone in the bunker, right? That's good because I've clearly chose the wrong club, the wrong strategy. I've hit that really good and I've hit that really committed. So phase two and three, I would be really comfortable with. I've got phase one wrong in my analysis. We can live with the bad analysis because we can't get every decision right, but what we can do is try and get an emotional control right. Now, because I'm now faced with a tough layout shot, let's say, and I'm probably could be, if this was on the course, I'm annoyed because I've hit a good shot, but I've chosen the wrong club. This is where your pre-shot routine comes even more into play, because now we've got to get over that and get right back in the zone. I like to say is it doesn't matter if you've got a shot, let's say you need to make a par on 18 to win the biggest tournament of your life or shoot the best round of your life, or you've got a shot to get up and down for a 10, because every shot counts, so the pre-shot routine has to stay the same. So I'm now going to go into laying up, chipping out, but it's the same thing. I've chosen my club. We've got to have that pre-shot routine for what the shot requires. But when I'm over it, we don't get lazy. We still think Brooks, free flowing, and go. Okay, so again, indoors, hitting out of a bunker is a damn sight easier off a mat than hitting, I could have probably hit a 7-iron out of there. But you get the point here. So again, I'm now left with a 80-yard shot out of a bit of rough into a bit of wind. It doesn't matter that I've now got to try and feel like I need to save at worst a bogey, because the pre-shot routine is what takes the most control. We add up the score at the end, but we get in the zone of the pre-shot routine. So I've done my analysis. Now we feel the rehearsal. We walk in with that focus, that physical element. We get relaxed. We Brooks it. Bit of a pull. Again, not a particularly good shot, but we're on the green, put for a par. Hopefully at worst we'd be making a bogey. We've not hitting particularly bad shots, but making poor decisions, but I can walk off that hole going, committed to all my shots correctly. So as you can see there, pre-shot routine is very much about the mental aspect. It's worth so much more to your game than you realise. Now that we're in season, going through this, developing it while practicing and playing is going to be worth so much more than you were probably giving credit to. Let me know how you get on and what your pre-shot routine looks like. Comment below, like this video, subscribe to the channel as it means a lot. And if you want more information on course strategy linking to decade strategy, watch this video next to help with phase 1, so phase 2 and 3 become even more effective.